The FNAF movie, the Five Nights at Freddy's movie, is an atrocity. To put it simple, who allowed this movie to be released under the FNAF name? Now, that is a outlandish thing to say, because there's probably a bunch of people that are like, oh my god, I love the FNAF movie. It was so good. Now, as a movie, it was really good. I was in the theater. I enjoyed it. I'm like, wow, I'm being entertained. But in the back of my mind, all I could think about is, do they not know about the lore? They had the lore demon, MatPat, in the movie. Now I know, MatPat didn't create the lore, he found the lore. Scott Cawthon made the lore. But Scott Cawthon never made it clear in the games that the lore is the lore, and this is that. MatPat put it together. And I'm going to start from the beginning of the movie and work my way to the end. So starting off at the beginning. It's a sequence of, like, spoilers, by the way. I didn't say that before, but spoilers. So it's this night guard at the FNAF 1 location. Okay. He's barricaded himself in, so the animatronics can't come find him, and he crawls his way through the vents. And he gets out, and he gets captured by, I can't remember which animatronic, but he gets captured by him. And then they lock him in a chair, and they're going to put a mask on him. And it has, like, razor blades spinning and, like, saw blades. And I'm like, is this Saw 10? Did I accidentally go in the Saw 10 movie theater? What? This is not why they stuff them. This is not how they die when they get stuffed. They stuff them because they think they're, well, there's a couple reasons why they get stuffed. One of the reasons is because they think they're a bare endoskeleton that needs to have a suit on, or, which I guess the movie kind of got right, which in later in the movie they try and put the daughter, or I guess the sister, in there so they can be like her. But the original reason that I remember is that they thought they were empty endoskeletons. And it could also be that they think make them like them. But why is it sawing his face off? Why is it just a way to kill them? You put them in the suit, not lock him in a chair and try and put a mask over him that's going to kill him. They're supposed to be in the suit, not killed by the suit. That's not how it works. And they make it out through this whole movie. They make it out to seem as these kids are these sadistic serial killers that just want to kill people. Not at all. Not at all. Not at all. Okay, so we go through the movie. We get introduced to our main character. He's a security guard at a mall, and he's like, I will give props to this. They had Chica's like magic rainbow or whatever. I forget what it's called. It's in FNAF World, like the second Halloween update. They had that on as like a restaurant or like some small mall place. And so basically he sees a kid, and he thinks the kid's getting kidnapped, and this is where we start to realize that the main character has a little bit of anger problems. So he chases this guy through the mall, and then he like tackles him into the water and just keeps beating him. And then you're introduced to Steve Raglan, who will be important later. And he's the career counselor, and he's looking over his stuff, and then he realizes, he says Mike Schmidt. Now, as a FNAF connoisseur for the past 10 years, when you hear Mike Schmidt, you think of Mike Schmidt from FNAF 1 on the, what's it called? On the paycheck. It says Mike Schmidt. Now, if you're an avid fan or avid lore knower, you would know Mike Schmidt is Michael Afton, William Afton's son, going to the old restaurants to undo the crimes of his father. Now, keep in mind, Mike Schmidt is Michael Afton. And Mike Schmidt is Michael Afton. So, he should have a brother named Evan Afton, or whatever you think the crying child's name is, and a sister named Elizabeth Afton. Evan should die in 1983. Evan should be dead in 1983. And Elizabeth should die a little bit later. Now. Or a little bit before, depending on how you see it. But I'm pretty sure it's a little bit later. Now. Mike Schmidt, which they only call him Mike in the movie, but his name is Mike Schmidt, clearly, has a sister named Abby. Now. I'm at the beginning of the movie. I'm already expecting it to be bad, but I'm like, okay, let's be hopeful. Maybe they just changed the name of Abby, because we know he has a brother, who's later on. I don't know how much later on, but we find out his young brother, was kidnapped by somebody. And I'm like, okay, this could be just the crying child's real name. Garrett, which is his brother's name, getting kidnapped by, what's his name? William Afton. But William Afton doesn't kidnap the crying child because it's his son. The crying child dies because Michael asks him, let's give Fredbear a big kiss, and puts it into Fredbear's mouth. So it's already pissing me off. Already making me livid. And so Steve Raglan is like, okay, you can have this job at the FNAF place. He goes to the FNAF place, starts dreaming, 5 kids, all this, all that. And he goes on the nights, and the night 2, Vanessa shows up. Jesus. Vanessa is a police officer. It's going to be important later. And then night 3 happens. He brings his daughter, not his daughter, Mike Schmidt brings his sister, Abby Schmidt, I guess, to there. And then Abby gets all friends with Freddy, Foxy, Bonnie, and Chica. I guess before night 3, Freddy, Foxy, Bonnie, and Chica kill, some brandos. I'm not going to talk about the stupid subplot with, custody and all that. That's stupid. It's a good FNAF movie, not a rom-com. So, yeah, I keep saying daughter. Abby starts making friends with the animatronics. Because we know, this is old FNAF news from, 2017. The FNAF animatronics only like kids. They do not like old people. The reason they do not like older people is because they think they're the security guard, the one that killed them. Which is going to be... See, at the beginning of the movie, it's fine. And then at the end, when all the important stuff starts happening, you realize this is a horrible movie. So then night 4, Vanessa comes and is like, why would you bring her down? Do not bring her here. Because then they build a 4. It's all gay. The 4th night, which doesn't say night 4, night 5 in the movie, but the 4th night that they're there, when they're having silly gay fun time with all the animatronics laying on the ground and giggling and dancing, that is horrible. Waited 10 years for this movie and it's trash. Why are they having silly, goofy fun times it's it's Clarence? I'm not watching Clarence. I'm watching the Five Nights at Freddy's movie. The movie about a game where kids are killed and stuffed in the suits. Why are they dancing and building forts? And then, so basically, Mike Schmidt, when he dreams, he keeps going back to when his brother was kidnapped, and now the 5 kids that were stuffed in the suits, which is they were stuffed in the suits, he talks to them, and he's like, I'll give you anything if you tell me who kidnapped my brother. And so they tell him that it's the Gold Bunny, and they say, oh, you can have this dream every night where you're so happy with your family, but we're going to take your sister. And he's like, no, wait, I didn't mean that. And then they're like, I don't care. So why are the kids so evil? So then the kids, specifically Freddy, the kid that's in Freddy, I think his name's Fritz in the game. Fritz in the game, not in the movie. They didn't say anything in the movie. Fritz pulls up to Abby's crib, which is also Mike Schmidt's crib, with Golden Freddy. Golden Freddy and Abby hop in Corey Extension's car. Not Corey, it's just a taxi driver played by Corey Extension. They drive to the FNAF place, and then Chica takes her to the back. By this time, what's his name? Mike Schmidt. I'm filming this off the dome. Mike Schmidt is with Vanessa. Vanessa's like, oh, I know all this because my father is William Afton. I'm like, what? Vanessa. Very important name if you're a recent FNAF fan, because Vanessa, or Vanny, is the main antagonist in Security Breach and the security breach sequel. I can't remember the name right now. Vanessa is like 20 in the year 2040. So how is she 20 and Michael Afton's daughter in 1993? William Afton has 3 kids. Elizabeth Afton, who becomes Baby. Evan Afton, or whatever you think his name is, the crying child, who becomes Fredbear. And Michael Afton, who basically becomes a secondary purple guy because his skin rots out and gets entered and all that. Why are you connecting Vanessa? It's like they only played Security Breach in the first game and that they could put them together. Vanessa, the only thing Vanessa and William Afton have in common is that when Vanessa was working at Fazbear Entertainment and played the VR game with the glitch trap in it, it infected her brain and made her do anything to free William Afton, aka Springtrap. They're not related at all. She's being brainwashed by him to do his bidding. And it's like 50 years in the future. Almost exactly 50. Oh my god. So they truck on over there to Fazbear Fun Nights, Freddy Fazbear's Pizza, and they're like, oh, the animatronics are weak to electricity, like it's Pokemon. They're water types. So, he electrocutes them. Chica tries to put Abby into some Springlock suit with a baby head. Not Circus Baby, just a baby head, but I guess it's a nod to Baby. I don't know how they're doing nods to Baby when they're supposed to make 3 movies, and what are they going to do with the other 2 movies? Okay, it doesn't matter. So he electrocutes all of them, and then him and Abby are running out. Michael Schmidt and Afton are running out, and then the cupcake, which is like a bear trap extravaganza, lunges at him, starts biting his leg. He electrocutes them, and then. So also Abby runs from Foxy, hides in the ball pit, and then Vanessa finds him. But sorry. Mike is running. He goes in the party room, and guess who shows up? Springy Bingy Spring Bonnie. William Afton in the Spring Bonnie suit is here, and he is some ultra villain. He's in Kenjaku. He's Gato. He's Jogo. He's just pulling up. He's you thought you could get away? I'm gonna kill you like I killed your brother. And he's just whamming on him. He's some anime villain. And then and he's just bam. And he's actually just beating the actual living hell out of Mike. And Mike's knocked out. He's and then Spring Bonnie's all of you, kill this man. And in the game, the only reason, because I said it before earlier in this video, the only reason the animatronics kill humans is because they think they are the man in the yellow bunny suit. Also, if you remember, which would be important later, in FNAF 3, when we get the 8-bit minigame, when the 5 ghosts are chasing William Afton in the back room, he gets in the golden body suit to scare them. So, why in this movie are all the animatronics following him? How do they not know that they killed him? Because it's literally in the game that they know the golden Bonnie suit killed them. And yet, it's explicitly said they don't know Golden Bonnie didn't kill him. That's why they follow him and do everything he says. Actual autism, whoever made this movie. Just fire them from ever making another movie again. So he's oh yeah. And then Abby draws up a quick pick, and they don't show what the pick is. She puts the pick on the wall, and then all the animatronics are wait, that's the guy that killed us? And they all jump him. Okay. As I just said, in FNAF 3, FNAF 3, the 5 mini games. On night 5, on all the nights before night 5 in FNAF 3, he goes back to the pizzeria and dismantles every animatronic. Once he's dismantled every single animatronic, the spirits are out, and the spirits chase him into the back room where he puts the golden bodysuit on and tries to scare them away, and then he breathes too heavy, and the spring locks collapse, and it kills him. Or I guess it kills him. And then they lock him in the back room and seal it off for 30 years. In this movie, he is fighting them. He's like, guys, listen to me. And then Chica throws a cupcake. A cupcake bites the golden bodysuit. This is all in the party room, by the way. And no animatronics have been disassembled. And all the spring locks go off. And then William Afton puts the golden body mask off because he took it off so he could kill his daughter. Or try and kill Vanessa. He puts the mask back on. And then guess what the mask does? It spring locks him too. Wow, guys. I wonder why that happened. So, and then they drag him into the kitchen. You're supposed to drag him into the back room! You're not supposed to drag him in the back room. He's supposed to be string locked in the back room. Oh my god. And they just leave him there. And then they all leave and like, oh yeah. And that's the end of the movie. Essentially. Nothing else important really happens. Like, it's just so bad. They did such a horrible job at following the lore. And I know movies take a long time to make, and maybe they could have started making it before Matt Pat had put it all together. Because I'm pretty sure Scott Cawthon based a little bit off of what Matt Pat was saying. I bet he had a loose outline, but Matt Pat put it together and he was like, wow, he put it together really good. I'm going to keep it that way. And I don't know if Scott Cawthon was one of the people that wrote the movie. I don't remember reading that somewhere. But I get that it's a PG-13 movie. And I get that it can't be a perfect adaptation, and the books aren't like the games, and the games aren't like the books. So maybe the movie is different than the game, than different than the books, but the books got more right than the goddamn movie. Everything in the movie is so off. So off. And I'm pretty sure that it's gonna be there's 2 more movies. It's gonna be a trilogy. Where do they go from here? They're just gonna skip 30 years? Because there is no sister location. There cannot be a sister location because there is no Elizabeth Afton. Maybe there could be a FNAF 4, but Garrett was too young to have those dreams and want to go to Freddy's because Mike Schmidt didn't even know what Freddy's was. So there is no FNAF 4. There's no FNAF 2. It really doesn't seem like there could be a FNAF 2 because the way they talked about it in the movie is Freddy Fazbear's Pizza is a one-of-a-kind place. And FNAF 5? No. FNAF 6? Okay, the next thing in the timeline is FNAF 3, if we're excluding FNAF 5. FNAF 3. 30 years into the future. How? How would they do it? Mike Schmidt isn't Michael Afton. And the only reason anyone goes to FNAF 3 is because Michael Afton wants to go to burn his father again to make sure his father is dead. But William Afton doesn't have any sons. And I guess they could make it a woman. I mean, but then they would burn him. That'd be the whole movie, just the 5, 6, 7 nights of FNAF 3. And then what? FNAF 6? There's no baby. There's no puppet. There's no... There's no Molten Freddy. It would just be... security breach? I mean, maybe, but Security Breach is built off the foundation of FNAF 6. Kind of, I guess. I mean, it's built on top of that. They could get rid of that. But who the hell wants to watch a movie based off of FNAF 1? FNAF 6? And FNAF... Or who wants to watch a movie based off FNAF 1, FNAF 3, and FNAF Security Breach? You're missing out on so much. It's just so bad. I just wish they could have, like, been at least 90% accurate. But they're edging on basically almost 10% accurate. The only good things about that movie that I could say that I was like, wow, and I understood as a FNAF fan for so long, is MatPat, because MatPat's cool. Corey Kenshin, I guess. I'm not the biggest Corey Kenshin fan. And in the movie, in one of the backstage rooms, they had a Sparky the dog. Like, Sparky the dog animatronic. And I was like, oh, like the hoax I was floating around back when FNAF first came out. I thought that was pretty cool, but 10 years. FNAF came out 10 years ago. The FNAF movie, I think, was announced, or they were like, they were going to make a FNAF movie, or like, was like 2016, 2017. So, 8 years, if we're saying 2018, because it's basically 2024. 2016, so it's basically 8 years. And they get nothing right. They get some things right, don't get me wrong. They had a brown bear, a red fox, a purple bunny, and a yellow chicken. They had dead kids stuffed into suits. But there's just so much wrong. I'm so bad. But, yeah. If you guys like the background gameplay, I mean, I haven't played UCN in a long time. And this is my first time hopping back on. And it's kind of... I went in expecting it's going to be easy like it used to be for me, but it's not. So, yeah. This was your guys' FNAF video. I'm not going to make a whole FNAF thing. I'm kind of mad. Next video will... Actually, I'm not going to say that, because every time I say next video is going to be this, it never is that. So, next video is going to be a Fortnite video, that's for sure. So, yeah. Make sure to like, subscribe, and as always, stay frozen.